Ask a
Psychotherapist.
Ask a
Psychotherapist.
Ask a
Psychotherapist. Therapist. That's psycho in front of it.
She's not
Psychotherapist.
psycho. She says her therapy is
Yeah,
psycho.
but psycho stands for something.
Well, we sang "Ask a therapist," and you said she's a psycho. She's not a psycho.
No, I said therapist with psycho in front of it.
Okay, so she's not psycho.
No, she's not psycho.
None
of us are psycho.
Ask John, he'd tell us. So Danielle is here. She's a psychotherapist.
Welcome, Danielle.
She's a licensed psychotherapist.
Thank you.
What is that? What does that mean? Licensed psychotherapist. What is a psychotherapist compared to a regular therapist?
What is a regular therapist?
Someone who gives you therapy without the psycho in front of it. What does the word psycho add to your therapy style?
Psychology.
Psychology. Well, isn't all therapy psychology?
Well, you could be a physical therapist. You could be a massage therapist.
There we go.
So I am a therapist of the mind.
So any therapist is a psychotherapist. If you go to somebody to with the problems up here, right? All right.
Just check their credentials, Tom.
Make sure they're licensed. Could I go? I think I would be a good therapist.
No. The answer is no. But I always say, like,
may I finish the question?
Oh, sorry.
But I help people.
Of course.
You had problems early on in your relationship with Lester, and I pulled you aside. I think I bought you tacos.
Yeah, it wasn't
Lester. It wasn't Lester.
It was the station.
In your relationship with Lester, it was the people that listened to the station were a problem. And I pulled you aside and I helped you. That was a bit of therapy.
It was. But
that was taco therapy.
I also think the people that have the issues are the ones that end up in the chair. No offense, Danielle. Like my therapist
has problems.
She has problems of her own. And that's what makes her a great therapist.
That she can relate.
We are human.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And we all have issues.
It's got a ring to it. We are human. That's a song. So you're a psychotherapist. You're licensed. How do you become licensed as a psychotherapist?
You become licensed by, of course, completing your bachelor's degree, then going on for a master's degree.
I'm already out.
And then completing supervision for several years, which allows you to sit for your boards. And once you have passed your exam, you get to be licensed.
Could I work somewhere and say I'm an unlicensed therapist? I think there's
this job. You're helping people
Is that
daily.
Legal? Can I go out and open a therapy business and say, Tom Keefe, unlicensed therapist? They let me marry people. I'm a reverend. I'm a friar with the Church of Bacon. Could I be a marriage therapist? Tom Keefe, unlicensed marriage therapist.
Or just call yourself a coach.
A coach. A life coach.
Yes.
But I don't have with no training. Tom,
you have an entire career of training.
I have no marketable skills other than sitting in a chair BSing, talking out my ass, basically.
Yeah.
So I could do that for people.
I think there's some coaching value in that, Tom.
When I lose this job, I have nothing else going on. So you are a psychotherapist, a licensed psychotherapist. You went through all this training.
I did.
And what are we going to do this morning? Are we going to help some callers with their problems? Mini on the phone therapy sessions?
No, we're helping me.
After we fix Leah, which shouldn't take more than 5-6 years. After we help Leah a little, can we take calls and help people?
Absolutely.
Can we do calls or texts? Probably calls.
Yeah, however you wish.
Okay.
Though I won't text. And when I have clients that say, will you text? The answer would be no.
So they want it. So here at work, I want therapy again, but I want it with my therapist because he's up to speed on me.
Yep.
But they changed insurance. I changed insurance, so I couldn't have him anymore.
Unless you pay for him out of pocket,
which is way too much. We talk about every time there's a major incident in America, we're like, we don't have a gun problem, we have a mental health problem, which that's debatable one way or the other. We don't get into that. We don't do politics. But calm down, Leah. We'll get there. She's very excited about this. She wants to get fixed, and I'm worried about her. But we don't have the infrastructure to do it. They won't let me have therapy other than over the video, and that doesn't work. Do you do video with people?
I do some video, but my preference is always live, and I won't ever start with someone brand new just via virtual. Yeah, I really want to see how they move,
body language,
all of the above for sure.
But then once you meet them, then you can do. That would be okay if I could meet a person and get rolling with them, or meet my guy in person again and then get rolling, maybe do the video or whatever. But they won't pay for that at my company. They won't. So when I lose at work, and start screaming.
Insurance is to blame.
Yes.
Yeah. Absolutely.
All right. So, but we're going to help Leah here in person.
Okay.
Well, and I was just going to add on, like, while therapy and in-person therapy is great, it's worked wonders for me, but there's something new that people are starting to do, and that's really what you're wanting to expound on, the psychedelics of
so when we say
mental health.
Psychotherapist, it's not just psychology therapist, it's psychedelic therapist a little bit.
So I
Okay,
do.
that seems like a big thing. We'll do that next break. Okay. We'll
She took a whole breath.
Yeah, she looked at me and took a whole breath. She's like,
big.
that's a lot.
Well,
So
because
we'll
that's
talk
what
about
I've
that
been
next break.
interested in.
Okay.
I'm like, well,
So
this is
we'll
working.
talk about
but
the psychedelic angle coming up next break. Okay. Danielle is here. If you have questions after we fix Leah, we can fix you. Get ready to call up here in the studio, 800-223-9510. It's 825.
Sunny and 65 today.
No, Leah does not need to be fixed. I'm just messing around with her, obviously, but we're going to.
We all need a tune up.
Everybody's got stuff. I got a lot of stuff, but mine is pushed way far down and buried. And I think I have it compartmentalized well. And that's my approach now. Maybe that's not good. I don't know. We'll find out. Here's Godsmack on WIIL Rock. dumbest thing anyone's ever said. 95 Will
It's
Rock.
not. I
The Rock
researched
Station.
it.
Yeah, okay. The coin flip thing. Because it's spinning through the air, but somehow it's like, oh, let me stop with my heavy side down.
Well, it's like when you toss a cat off of a counter.
Tell me more about your cat abuse. Talk about your cat abuse more live on the radio. Let's hear about you throwing your cat places. Sure, the ASPCA would love this conversation. So when
I love my cats.
So when you're throwing this innocent little cat to the floor,
usually kittens,
it lands on its feet. That doesn't have to do with its weight. They actually twist different ways. That has nothing to do with its weight. She's saying the coin is heavier on one side, which is fine. You can believe that. But the flipping is you've spun it.
Yeah, it's going to spin differently.
You catch it at a particular point in that spin. That has nothing to do with weight. And then you put it on your wrist. Now, if you were throwing it from, say, 18 miles in space.
I'm not so much.
And the wind stopped the spinning at a certain point because of the friction, which happens as things pass through the atmosphere. It would maybe stop and then stabilize and then land on the ground with the heavy side down.
I'm not talking
Once
about
it reached terminal velocity and the spinning stops.
I'm not talking about catching it and flipping it. I'm just talking about flipping a coin.
Well, that's not what we were doing yesterday. You were catching it and putting it on your. And by the way, it doesn't have enough time to realize it. It's spinning with that velocity. It doesn't have enough time. Oh, wait, this is my heavy side. Let me stop now and throw my hand. Did it have enough time to do that?
You don't know a penny.
Okay.
You're
just going to keep. This is all from yesterday. This is why we need some help. Danielle is here, psychotherapist.
Thank
Will
goodness.
you please tell Leah how wrong she's being right now in our relationship to belittle me in this way?
So as a psychotherapist, I plead the fifth on that.
Okay.
All right. So
we're allowed to have a disagreement, and you believe in what you believe in, and I believe in what I believe in.
Absolutely.
And while you all can ask me anything, please don't harangue me.
All right. Let me know her. She listens to the program.
She's smart.
Also, she knows the proper use of the word harangue because of the program.
And I feel like you've been haranguing me all day.
I feel like you harangue me on a daily basis.
It's my role here.
Tim.
I just stand here and be Switzerland.
Okay.
That's what I'm doing.
Switzerland.
Pick a side. Switzerland. It's 8:32.
Sunny and 65 today.
You got to put
tonight.
your headphones on your ears. That's where the head. That's where
I don't have them plugged in.
Oh, because somewhere that's coming.
It's right here.
Oh, those headphones have to be either unplugged or put on somebody's head.
There we go.
There we
okay,
go.
that's what that was.
Yeah.
I didn't know what it was, but sunny and 65 today. I do know that. Tonight, low near 45, and tomorrow, sunny and 60. It's 53 in Wadsworth and 63 in Prospect Heights.
95 Will Rock 95 second update. A child hospitalized after being struck by a vehicle near Johnsburg. It took place yesterday afternoon while the child rode his bike near the high school. The preteen was hospitalized in unknown condition, but officials say he suffered no traumatic injuries. The driver of the vehicle stayed on scene, is said to be fully cooperative. Congratulations to McHenry West High School's Bobby Miller. I screwed up your name. Sorry.
Good old little Bobley. Who's playing in the MLB? It's
little
Bobley. Well, what if he gets really popular and he gets a bobblehead night as a player?
It'll be Bobley.
It'll be a little Bobley head.
Bobby Miller. Bobby Miller, a 2017 graduate of McHenry West, made his major league debut for the Dodgers last night. Pitched 5 innings, 5 strikeouts. Yeah, picked up his first major league win in his first game.
He was the pitcher of record and got a win in his first.
8-1 over the Braves.
That's awesome.
Will Rock Sports brought to you by the plumbers and steam fitters of Local 118. The demand for skilled journeyman plumbers is high. Go to ualocal118.com. Cubs also won, as did the White Sox, as did the Brewers. All 3 of those teams will be back in action today. Celtics stay alive at the Eastern Conference Finals in the NBA playoffs with a win over Miami. Miami still leads 3-1. 3-0 lead for Vegas over Dallas in the Western Conference Finals of the NHL playoffs.
And finally, do you even run?
Remember when Leah asked me that?
I just asked you again.
Yes, Leah, I run. Not recently, but I have run many times. John Perry and I played soccer in high school.
You were a collegiate athlete, I thought.
After that, I was a collegiate athlete.
What did you play in college?
Both positions. I was goalie.
Chess?
I was goalie.
So not a lot of running.
Soccer and lacrosse, so not a lot of running.
No. So that means
probably why I picked that position in both sports.
Well, and you know how your allergies change like every 7 years.
Okay.
Hopefully your allergy has not changed to this. A Canadian woman may be allergic to running. 27-year-old. Divots magnet claims that she nearly died after suffering a severe reaction while dashing to catch a flight. Because she broke out in hives. She was struggling to breathe. So, they had to EpiPen her.
Wow. That's bad.
It's really bad. She says that she's gone to the hospital a few times regarding this, and she's waiting on a specialist because the hospital isn't really able to provide more information at the moment. So you may end up being allergic to running, Tom.
There's no way it was the running that caused the physical.
She says that it's happened before while
when
running.
she was running.
While running, yeah.
I would think she
going
ran
into anaphylactic shock.
She ran. Oh, look at you with the big words that you're reading.
I didn't read that. I know what anaphylactic shock is.
That's very hard to say.
Anaphylactic shock.
Now you're just showing off.
My son's girlfriend is allergic to peanuts, and he made peanut butter cookies and then went over to her house.
And she went into
anaphylactic shock. They had EpiPen her.
Just having fun saying it now.
Yeah, it's fun.
So do you think the running itself is, or
they're
think
saying
that maybe? Wow, if I was going to be allergic to one thing, running would be very
right?
high on the list. Or heavy lifting. Is there I have a heavy lifting allergy. Is what I have an allergy to going
cleaning
to couples baby showers. I have a couples baby shower allergy.
Oh, I don't know. You know what happened at my couple's baby shower the other day?
That's true. People getting their boobs out. I have a allergy to most couples baby showers, not the ones with boobs. Yeah,
No,
I like this. I like this lady's thinking. It's a good idea. This morning, we're doing Ask a Psychotherapist.
I just dumped a lot on
Danielle
Danielle.
is here, and Leah is just.
I can't help myself.
She is going.
Yeah.
Maybe schedule an appointment.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to.
But we can deal with whatever part of it you want to talk about this morning. We can certainly talk about.
It's like the doctors and there's nothing, sometimes you do need the medication. I needed the medication to get out of, I have anxiety for since I was 7,
You're
like full-blown anxiety
attacks.
About,
what do we call that? Mood or medication or.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
medication
it's a fine line. They call it
Zoloft.
Yeah.
Or whatever,
I take sertraline.
Okay.
And I would like to not be on it because of the side effects. It just kind of makes me feel bleh.
Yeah,
I have no sex drive gone.
With the and that can create new problems.
Yeah.
I with the unpleasantness of 2018, my doctor was like, "Yes, what do you want? Take it." And I did not like the feeling.
It's not a good feeling. I can feel it now.
I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to fix this on my own. I appreciate it, but sometimes you can't. You need.
Yeah. So I tried to fix it on my own for a really long time, and it got to the point where I couldn't, and I had to take the medicine. And the thing is, with the medicine, is it took so long to kick in. Oh my gosh, I didn't think I was going to make it. Yeah. I didn't think I honestly am lucky to be here today. And I do thank the medication for that. But now there's a time where I'm like, I really don't want to be on this anymore. The side effects, it's gotten me out of that deep, dark place. The side effects are too much. What can I do?
Here we go.
Here we go. It's a lot. I know. I'm sorry, Danielle.
I didn't use the medication. I used my dog and my friend.
I tried.
But sometimes that's not enough.
I'm
not saying you should have. See, but you seem like you have to be defensive.
No, I'm not being defensive.
You do, though. People with the drugs are like, I have to go, I tried. You don't have to.
Yeah.
You don't need to explain that you tried.
Well, no, and I'm not saying it to you, but there are people out there that don't believe in it.
Well, it's fine. Then don't do it. That's your problem. Don't put a negative stigma on it.
Well, no, I'm saying that they don't believe in the anxiety or the depression.
That's fine. Then don't put a stigma on people who have it and do. Right. You don't know until you've walked a mile.
I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy.
My thing is I don't judge anybody until you've walked a mile in somebody's shoes. Yeah. They're like, criminal scumbags or whatever. But so Danielle is here. I guess we are going to work on Leah for a while. The question was, what is the difference? You believe you have psychedelics in your practice. So getting closer to the mic, explaining what that is, right up on your lips. Just touch the little screen. There you go. Because your voice is timid, which would be good in therapy. You're a very relaxing person.
She is. I feel like I'm going to cry.
Yeah. So tell us what is the difference you use psychedelics?
I will try to get bold here with your microphone. So first I want to make the distinction because of the world that we're living in with psychedelic use, which is vast difference between recreational use and now the role that psychedelics are playing in the mental health world.
Psychedelics, we're talking shrooms. You're talking about shroom in here. Is that what you're talking about? Not exclusively, but one of the main ones we're talking about. Is that correct?
Well, I think currently mushrooms are most widely being used because they're most accessible. Okay. You're not going to go out and get your hands on unless you're doing this recreationally and you have some underground connection. Ketamine, MDMA, those are as well psychedelics.
MDMA is people do that. Is that Molly?
It is ecstasy.
Ecstasy. Yeah. People do that recreationally. Ketamine.
It's like the
rapists use.
Yeah.
But these are things that you could use properly in your practice. But we're talking about shrooming mostly. That's most accessible. You probably use that the most. So just so people know what we're talking about when we say psychedelics.
Yeah, for sure. So the psychedelics are as follows. Mushrooms, entheogens, which are plant medicines. So commonly ayahuasca is one of the most well-known.
Ayahuasca.
This was the Aaron Rodgers thing was ayahuasca.
I want to do ayahuasca.
So LSD, ayahuasca, MDMA, ketamine.
LSD?
LSD is a psychedelic.
Don't take the brown acid, but yeah. All right.
So, those are all of the current psychedelics in clinic settings. So being used psychotherapeutically, ketamine and MDMA.
Yeah. I got to stop you for a second here because
Stop me.
So there was medical marijuana. You had to have your card and you could get it in some states, but they didn't have recreational.
Yeah.
But you just went to some guy who was a doctor who just decided he wanted to.
That's what I did. Yeah.
Just here, you get your medical card. What, your foot hurts here. Yeah. So there was medical and then it became, you could get recreational. To me, the only state you can get recreational psychedelics in is Colorado. You can do mushrooms.
Correct.
But there were doctors are you telling me there are psychotherapists like yourself who can prescribe these things, or you suggest somebody goes out and gets them illegally and does them, or
yeah. So
what is how?
Well, let me
there's
also
no medical shroom card yet anywhere.
Correct. Let me also include Oregon as a state where you can get mushrooms recreationally.
Oh, you can get them recreationally in Oregon too.
Yes, you can.
All right.
So
I will see you after next
weekend. If in fact
weekend.
you have an interest in psychedelics psychotherapeutically, the only thing that you're able to access in the state of Illinois is ketamine.
Yeah.
And that would be through a physician who has that experience, that certification.
Okay. So what is your thing then? How do you?
Yeah. So my thing is not to prescribe, have no interest in that. My interest is in being the Sherpa, if you will. So people will come to me, express an interest in the use of psychedelics for their anxiety, their depression, for other kinds of issues, and I will be their guide. So prior to your use, there's work to be done, clearing the head, understanding what your experience will be, how you can best kind of roll with that trip, if you will.
All right.
And then on the other side of that is work called integration, where your psychotherapist is working with you to help you make sense of what came up for you in the trip.
What happened.
Right. And then how to put that into your...
For the trip, they're not getting... They have to go to Colorado, Oregon if they want to do it legally, and then they come back and see you and talk about it.
That is one way. I've also accompanied several clients to ketamine clinics here in the area.
Okay.
And I will sit with them through that.
Because you have to have somebody like drive you there and drive you home.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Now, I want to drive home when you're shrooming.
I've looked
into
ketamine.
Yeah. No, it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm traveling with them and back.
Yeah.
They can be seeing me right once they return home. But yeah, ketamine is the only. There are clinical trials going on in this country for MDMA currently, and hopefully we're not far off from MDMA being right alongside ketamine.
All right. Now I got to pause there.
Yeah.
Because we're going to ask you next, why? Like, what's the difference between regular therapy and therapy that involves these? That's going to be the question next.
Sure.
We got to move on with the radio program. This is very interesting.
It is. I want to know if I want to know. I have questions about.
I know you do.
I have questions about because this is my next question too. Like if you have worked with somebody who is already taking medication, who doesn't want to be on the medication anymore, you've worked with them to get off of it. And she's shaking her head. Yes.
You're looking for free.
No, I'm not. I'm going to cry. I'm going to cry.
We'll get there. We'll get to the
crying.
Absolutely. Any good Oprah interview involves some crying. So we're going to get there.
On camera.
Yeah, this is going to be good. Watch Blubber Cam coming up. It's running on TomTube right now. You can find the link to Ask a Psychotherapist right now at the top of the main page there at 95willrock.com. See what's going on. Danielle is here and we're going to talk about the name of your practice, and I can share that on the website and all that. We'll do that coming up too, right? If you want to find her for more. If you want to schedule some therapy during your personal time instead of doing it all on the radio, which we can do it all on the radio and just we can have her back next week for the listeners, and we can just do you today. Yeah. Therapy's usually only an hour, and I said to Yola last week, I said, why does that guy only see us for an hour? I feel like we're getting into some stuff.
Right.
And then it's time to leave. She says, no, an hour is about right, but we'll talk about that too in just a couple of minutes. It's 8:48.
Sunny and 65 today.
Danielle is here. Ask a Psychotherapist. Maybe we make it to the phones for your question in a little bit. Maybe we don't. Hey, got our very first, and this is to me wind therapy. I really do when I'm riding the motorcycle and I'm just trapped in my thoughts. I know people that have those communicators and things in their helmet where they can take phone calls. And when I was getting the helmets, House of Harley Davidson is where I got it. They suggested I get the helmet with the phone call thing. I'm like, no, this is where I don't want to be reachable on the phone. This really is wind therapy. Our first full throttle rock and ride of the season with Coors Light, Miller Lite, and House of Harley. This week, we ride to Thirsty Horse Pub and Grill in Bristol, part of the 95 Will Rock 95 Days of Summer. All bikes are welcome. It's free to ride. You just show up and ride with us. It's this Saturday morning. Kickstands up at 10. They've got weekend breakfast delicious at Jesse Oaks in Gages Lake. We ride from there. I believe the Racine Hog chapter leading the ride this time around. We ride from there. We do a nice ride through the countryside to our after party that starts at noon. They're at the Thirsty Horse. So come ride with us. All bikes welcome. You could actually win that tent camping site at Pappy Hill Campground for the Sturgis Rally. This Saturday, kickstands up at 10 from Jesse Oaks and Gages Lake for a ride to the Thirsty Horse. We'd love to see you there. Thanks to Coors Light, Miller Lite. We'll have them on special at the after party. And it's all thanks to Coors Light, Miller Lite, Jesse James Spirits, House of Harley Davidson, and 95 WIIL Rock, the rock station. Leo was crying during the break. I had to pass her the tissues.
I don't even know why, though.
All right.
I don't know why.
There's a lot of emotion you're suppressing. And when you think that you're going to get to release some with Danielle here, licensed psychotherapist, our guest today, it starts to well up. Your body is preparing for the
release of
the torment and trauma to come, the haranguing. The release of what is she's letting out her inner pressure or whatever, right? I don't know.
What kind of it's cortisol, right?
The crying is
when you're crying, your tears are primarily cortisol, which is one of our primary stress hormones. So I encourage crying.
Okay, so I'm going to go to my office.
You can do it right here on camera.
It's the body knowing what you need.
You got to move
allowing
closer
you to release.
You got to move closer to Danielle so we can see the crying.
I don't want to see me crying. I ugly cry. My veins probably popping out of my forehead.
Five head.
Thanks, Tom.
You're welcome. Kick her when she's down. Harangue her when she's down.
Yeah.
What is the difference between being a psychotherapist? You're using or you're not, but the people are using the things. Why is that a version of therapy or a better version of therapy for some people? Or why is that to go shrooming or ketamine or whatever you're doing?
So I won't do a whole history lesson, but going all the way back to days of Dr. Timothy Leary and Andrew WIIL and these guys, in our
Talking about the
big ivory
70s,
towers.
Going and doing some acid and hanging out with Andy Warhol.
Well, these are the guys that brought about an understanding of what these substances are and how they can help us. And what we know conclusively is that psychedelics allow us to access a non-ordinary state of consciousness, right? So those are the deeper reaches where a lot of the trauma, the emotion, the distress that we experience is locked up, right? Inside the body, inside the mind.
And I need this because I tell everybody I'm okay and I got it figured out and all that stuff. But there are things, and I know they're there, but I've put them in a box, and I put them in a box, and the box is shut, and I've pushed them all the way down. I know they're there, but I believe that I've made enough of a wall, and they're locked in the box enough that I am okay out here. But I know they're down there.
See, I could physically feel it.
I didn't intentionally do that, but they're there, and I want to know. So that'll help me open the box and deal with the stuff in the box. Is that, Leah? Is that about where your box is just
I don't even. It just I feel like it's just in my head. It's empty, and I can't find a way to connect to it. It's
it's there, but you can't connect to it. And I know mine is intentionally put in a box and shoved away. I'm sure mine is
something intentionally happened that I
very painful stuff that I boxed up. So you're saying these drugs will help me open up the box and deal with what's in the box, or help Leah connect with what that stuff is and why? Because she knows she's messed up. She just don't know why. Yeah.
So for sure, helping you to get to the core of what that is, and then not being so fearful of it that you want to shove it into a box, right? And shelve the box. And when you go through these experiences, you get closer to who you truly are. And Leah, you are not anxiety. It's what you've struggled with. But to say, with all of these diagnoses, which I'm not fond of, we are simply people and life has happened to us. So for you, it's anxiety. For another, it's depression. And
for me, it's the traumas of 2018 and other related things. And I can't. So sign me up because, it's there. You just can't. And you could get to it through regular therapy, but you're saying this is like a key to getting it out there more.
You actually cannot get to in traditional therapy what psychedelics offer, right? Because you're using a substance to free up,
stuff that is not gonna come out no matter how hard you try to figure it out or get it out. You can't without psychedelic help.
Well, you can use
are there therapists who disagree with you? Because I would think that they would say, no, that's incorrect. I can get to this. I don't need psychedelics as a therapist. Are there therapists who look at you with disdain for what you do? I would think.
I'm sure that there are those therapists. I don't pay attention to that because my interest is in what I do.
Because regular therapy is great.
Because you know your true self.
But regular therapy is great.
Yeah.
I mean, you advocate therapy for people.
I absolutely do. But I always say, if you're going to enter therapy, you need to do your diligence.
Yeah.
You need to really understand what it's asking of you. You need to ensure you find your person, that there's a fit, right? That's everything. It's been well studied as to what makes therapy successful.
Yeah.
It is not my degrees. It's not even the modalities I use. It's, do you and I have a trusting relationship?
Everybody's been in therapy. You find the right person. You want the right. I found the right guy, but work won't pay for it anymore. So when
I tell people,
if he's the right guy, pay for it.
Yeah, I can't.
It's an expensive.
Well,
it's worth it.
I mean, do you need to be on the couch with him for life?
Yeah.
I'm fond of people really framing their work such that you're not working with me for years and years and years. Sometimes that's necessary.
You graduate them,
100%. That's my goal.
You say, this house is clean. And then you walk away, and then a week later, there's
My house got dirty again.
There's more poltergeist popping up or whatever. Come on in, Tim. We're going to do the news. Tim's here.
I just
he
always
feels unwelcome.
I tell people that, are very, whether they're anti-therapy or say, and I've met a lot of people, guys in particular, that have been like, I tried therapy, it didn't work. I'm like, well, you just didn't find the right therapist. If it's not a good fit, the first you'll either that first appointment or the second appointment, this isn't gonna.
Therapy working is not about your therapist. So when people say therapy doesn't work, I say, are you working your therapy?
Yeah.
And then you're like, and let's go.
I don't have a magic. Yeah, I don't have a magic wand.
we made fun of Aaron Rodgers when he went on his ayahuasca quest, or whatever, for doing that.
Right.
But you say that he was probably onto something.
I just don't want to poop myself.
I say good for him for having the bravery, because ayahuasca is not for sissies, and having the commitment to really figure himself out.
Let's roll it back a couple of seconds to the pooping of herself. We're not going to let that.
I didn't think you heard it.
No, I heard it. I wanted wanted Danielle could finish to talk about ayahuasca, and then Leah could tell me about why she's going to poop herself.
Because I've heard
quote.
When you do ayahuasca.
Danielle, do people who do ayahuasca poop themselves?
There can be that.
Yes.
Hopefully you're not doing it on yourself, right? Because you are fully aware.
Just where it depends.
Yeah.
Okay.
With ayahuasca, there will be purging.
Yeah.
So whether it's this purging or that purging.
Just totally purged my pants. Yeah, what happened? It was ayahuasca and I purged my pants.
And some don't purge at all, and others copiously. So it's really individual.
Continue to throw up, right?
But not throughout your experience.
Right.
It's typically at the onset. It's for a very brief period of time, and then you're into your trip. But you're ingesting a plant medicine, and the body is acknowledging.
Somebody told me when you're shrooming, there's a point where your stomach wants to get rid of it. You're like, oh, I'm going to throw up. You don't physically feel well. You keep it down. You roll through the
microdosing, and I don't know because I've never done them.
All right, we got more to talk about. It is 9:01.
Sunny and 65.
Leah
today.
is going to microdose if she doesn't poop herself, and we've got 59 minutes left for that activity.
I don't know if we have enough time.
Leah cries more on the radio.
I think I'm good.
We're going to have Danielle in more because they're supposed to be all the listeners, but we're going to try and fix Leah.
We'll get to the listeners
in the next 58 minutes.
So sorry.
It is on the way. It is 9:02. You did yours.
Yeah.
95 WIIL Rock, 95-second update. None of that, though not in custody yet. A judge has said a man wanted for an arson fire in Lakewood over the weekend will be held without bond once they find him anyway. Connor Kirkpatrick accused of using gasoline to start a weekend home fire that caused $250,000 in damages. He was on bond at the time for ramming his car to a Crystal Lake home last July, leaving a man permanently injured. Attorneys general across the U.S. joining a lawsuit against a telecommunications company accused of making more than 7.5 billion robocalls to people on the National Do Not Call Registry. The lawsuit says Avid Telecom used spoofed or invalid caller ID numbers to make the calls, including more than 8.4 million that appeared to be coming from government and law enforcement agencies. WIIL Rock Sports brought to you by Windy City Rooter. They drain your pipes, not your wallet. Cubs win, White Sox win, Brewers win. All three teams will play today. NBA playoffs. Celtics stay alive, down 3-1 now to the Miami Heat. Vegas, a win over Dallas for the Western Conference final lead of 3-0 in the NHL playoffs.
It's 9:03. Will she or won't she cry again? The Leah edition of Psychotherapy.
Never cried. No, I have cried on the radio before. I was going to say I've never cried on the radio before, but I once cried to a Nickelback song.
We're going to play some Nickelback. Which song?
I remember that.
It's a photograph?
No.
All right.
It was.
Will Leah or won't she cry again? We've scrapped the idea of Danielle helping any listeners.
No.
We have
there's a lot of text.
56 minutes and 25 seconds to get Leah figured out. Danielle is located in Libertyville. She can
I
come
know.
back.
I'll make it.
This could be once a month. You go shrooming, and then we talk to Danielle afterwards. We're going to try and fix Leah before 10. I use air quotes fix. I'm, of course, just being a
no one's broken. I'm
dumbass
not broken.
on the radio. I am
dumbass on the radio in real life.
And deeply broken.
Yeah.
I am deeply broken.
Yeah, it happens.
But we'll find out if we can fix Leah coming up. And how often will she cry? Find out. 95 WIIL Rock, the rock station. Well, that's not the one that made her cry. There's Nickelback on Will Rock. Leah crying today. We've decided Danielle is not here to help the listeners today. We're going to work on Leah and find out what a psychotherapist does with the psychedelics. And we'll do a couple of questions from the text line. But will you come back and see us again?
I would be happy to.
I think monthly, maybe.
However, if we are having sessions, I do get paid at the time of service.
Okay. It was far away, by the way.
Check our insurance that is not covered like everything else.
I carry my husband's insurance.
Oh, you're good, though.
Goodness.
Anybody but
he has the best mental health insurance.
Having our insurance would make you need mental health.
Yeah, I'm sure. So I've heard. I've heard it's really bad. Yeah, $5 copay is all I
Wow.
For mental health. Yeah.
My therapist says it's the best that she's ever seen.
I can have some
I've never heard of
Jamoke on video, but that's about it. Yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you. I don't want to get braggy about my mental health.
I think you'd be a little bit
coverage.
better off by now. But we'll talk to Danielle. So, and you are like your practice or whatever. Why do they call it a practice? That doesn't instill confidence. Where are you practicing at? What's your practice's name?
So Live Well Counseling and Coaching. I'm in the Hilltop building in Libertyville.
Mm-hmm. That sounds nice.
It's a beautiful space, floor to ceiling window, which every therapy office should have.
Live Well Counseling and Health Coaching at South Milwaukee Avenue in Libertyville. All right. We will share that link on the video, which is running now at 95willrock.com. Tom Tube. More with Danielle coming up in just a little bit. And she said she will come back and see us too. So we can, I think, a regular guest here to help some people. So we'll get into Leah's stuff coming up. It's 11 after 9.
No, we can really move on to the listeners. I don't want to cry anymore on the radio.
Okay. All right. Well, either or, whatever.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I don't know. I'm
every
sorry.
Time I
feel like I need to apologize.
Every time I start
now.
asking her, no, you're fine. Every time I start asking her any questions, though, you have something. So let's just.
Okay.
Anyway.
Sunny and 65 today. Thank goodness. Because vitamin D, right? That sunshine, it makes you feel good.
That is not a psychedelic. Vitamin D is not a psychedelic. No.
Tonight, a low near 45. And tomorrow, sunny and 60. The USDCAD is up 0.42%. That's what it says on my.
I don't know what you're saying.
That's what it says on my computer, where it usually tells me. Sorry.
And there was some type of gastric sound when you said those words.
USDCAD. The gastric did it come from me?
You went. No, it wasn't me. Did you hear it or not?
I didn't hear it.
John, was that you?
I didn't hear it.
Yeah.
No one else heard it. Anyway.
No.
All right.
The reason I said that in my bottom left corner of my computer, it tells me what the current weather is right now. And it's changed to telling me that the USDCAD is up 0.42%.
Oh, that's probably a stock ticker on your computer.
Yeah.
And
but
so
it never has changed. Like I have it set so it tells me the weather for my job, and it's not giving me that option.
To a stock ticker, which with your job, the last thing we need is a stock ticker. Ain't nobody here got money to do no investing. Will Rock Morning Show. Thanks to the Ray and Raven Auto Group in Fox Lake and Antioch. Coming up this Friday, this will improve your mood. I'll tell you that. Rocking the Chain at Blarney Island. We are back at the island with our friends at what is it this year? Are we doing Coors Light this year? Yeah, that's a great boating beer. Part of the 95 Will Rock 95 Days of Summer. Come hang out with me. Music this Friday night. A great rock lineup to kick off the big holiday weekend. AC/DC tribute band TNT Chicago. I hope they do touch too much. They start at 7 and then Blackened with their Metallica tribute. They start at 9. We've got your chance to win tickets. This is a sold-out Bad Omen show at the Rave in September. And $5 Fridays rolling on again. $5 Fridays include $5 food specials, $5 aluminum pints of Coors Light, and $5 off the shuttle. This Friday, our broadcast starts at 9. Join me at Blarney Island, a mile away from reality. You can hop on the shuttle at the Port of Blarney on Grass Lake Road, west of 59. See you there Friday night with Coors Light and Will Rock. Dr. Pete's there for you. He's got the ultimate in comfort, dental comfort, in-office IV sedation. You need a filling taken care of. You got a bad crown. You need your wisdom teeth taken care of. Or you just need a cleaning and a checkup. In-office IV sedation is the way to pain-free dentistry. You go in, you're out, you get your dental work done, you get on with your life. And Dr. Pete is now also trained and certified in the use of Botox and dermal filler treatments. If you're getting it somewhere else, Dr. Pete might be the guy to go see. If you're thinking about it, he can give you that free consultation. And talk to you about Botox and dermal fillers. Call and get that free evaluation and consultation today. And if you want to do it, you can save with their Evolus coupon. You get an additional $40 off each and every treatment visit. The place to start is the website. Go to gurneydental.com or make an appointment today. 847-336-7300, 847-336-7300, or online at gurneydental.com. It was just some type of berberigmus
you're gonna play it.
digestive sound.
Good.
And it wasn't me. I'm
It wasn't me.
100% honest. It wasn't me. Danielle and her husband John are here, and he's saying it wasn't him.
I don't believe
And
him.
I don't see that coming out of Danielle's body.
Okay.
Right.
We all
Not with
make
that-
noises.
Not like that. She's never made that kind of. If she did,
Especially here.
If she did, it would be just a little one. I don't think
What are you trying to say the difference between Danielle and I is?
It was Leah. Here it is. It was while you were talking. That's why you didn't know it was you.
Tonight a low near 45 and tomorrow sunny and 60. The USDCAD is up 0.42%. That's what it says on
Right there in the gap. Did you hear it? Right there in the gap. Right there in the gap of the talking. It was there.
I was already starting to say the other words though. Percent. That's what it says on my
I don't know. Blurb right out of your mouth. Right after the word percent.
Percent. That's what it says on
It's a quado getting ready to come up out of you and kill us all. So she's got some gastric issues.
Yeah.
And you're saying the
She can't help
psychedelics
it.
might not work well with people with because it's you erp them up a little bit, right?
Actually, psychedelics could help people with gut issues.
So there's another thing that it might fix, Leah, is your So I want to know like what the procedure is then with you. If people go in for you said you shepherd them through this or whatever.
Exactly. So people come to me having heard of me, knowing what I do, of course, referrals from friends, from others. I certainly am not advertising this of the moment. Though this world is all around us, we are headed for what I would call an explosion of psychedelics in the mental health domain.
There's a lot of stuff like legally in the pipeline that's coming down. Like
Absolutely.
Like medical marijuana was a thing, and you're saying medical
So
this.
again, ketamine currently legal and being used with really good result. MDMA is in the pipeline now, and we hope that is going to be a very short time for that. Use of mushrooms, you can go to a state where you can access it. A lot of people who are interested in psychedelic use for purposes of healing, so with very intentional goals, are doing the education, right? How do I do this? Dosing, what to expect. So interestingly, one of the largest segments of users with psychedelics is couples.
Together.
At the same time.
And they are doing this independently, or they're going in if they're able to do so, whether it be ketamine, their own use of mushrooms.
But they're each having their own experience with
that's
this
what scares
thing.
me.
So then they have their own experience, and then afterwards they're like, "All right, I figured out what your problem is. I'm going to tell you what I think the problem is I have with you." I became more self-aware of what I write, and then they compare notes or what?
Right.
Why is it a couple?
When you're
because
doing,
it's an individual. I guess my question is, it's an individual experience. How does that help a couple? If I'm shrooming and she's shrooming, at the end, how's that helping?
Yeah. So of course you're having an individual experience, but to remember that as a couple, you're already each other. If you know what I'm saying there, right? You have history with this person, their rhythm, their thoughts. So the idea in using it as a couple is that you are intentionally agreeing to explore these issues and to find your way to some greater understanding and thus resolution. And it's really done in a much more kind of easy, graceful. Yes, there will be tears, right? A lot of emoting potentially.
Leah's already crying. So
Yeah,
I think I reeled it in.
yeah. All right. If you have questions, we go to the text line for some questions.
I'm going to stop. Yeah.
No, you don't have to if you don't want to.
Yeah.
If she's here, if you want to use her services, we can have her back.
No, I'm not the only one who's interested.
We'll go to the text line since we don't probably have time to take a caller. We'll go to the text lines. If you have questions for Danielle, licensed psychotherapist with the psychedelics, text your questions now to 815-283-0095. Studio, the keyword. Of course, the main thing is you should go see somebody. I mean, you're not going to help people on the radio too much, but hopefully we will shepherd them in that direction. LiveWellCounselingLLC.com if you want it, right?
Yep.
All right. We'll go to the text line for questions coming up. So 815-283-0095. Studio, the keyword, that's on the way. Here's Gloria Sons on WIIL Rock. Sounds like somebody who could use a little therapy in that song. There's SOS from the Gloria Sons, WIIL Rock Morning Show. Tom and Leah, it is 9:26.
Sunny and 65 today. Tonight, a low near 45. And tomorrow, it's going to be sunny and 60. It is 61 in Johnsburg and 62 in Libertyville.
And Danielle is here. Ask a psychotherapist about psychedelics. Text your questions. And now we'll go to the text line in just a couple of minutes. 815-283-0095 is the studio line. You got to make Studio, the first word in your message, followed by what you want to ask. 815-283-0095.
It is time for the 95 WIIL Rock Happy Hour News. Have you ever heard of the site OnlyFans?
I believe so.
People are on there. They make a bunch of money.
Doing what?
We're not sure why.
Yeah, porn's free on the internet. Who's going to pay?
Yeah.
Seriously, I've always asked that. I don't understand.
I don't get it
but
either.
It's the biggest thing on the internet. It's why the internet's a big deal is this porn. And where the most money I think is probably made on the internet is porn. I have never paid a penny
for porn.
Well, on the internet.
On the internet, yeah.
Back in the day.
I did one time.
Sneaking into the store and, scanning through the VHSs. But I've never
paid for it
internet.
Online.
Yeah. I don't understand how people make it. But anyway,
well, this
OnlyFans.
Australian OnlyFans model claims that she had a #1 fan who had spent thousands of dollars on her site.
Okay.
Thousands.
Sure. I mean, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, she was making her money.
Is she having sex on her site?
No.
What is she doing?
I don't know. I didn't dig that deep. It doesn't, and you have to have an account in order to.
Most of those OnlyFans is like sex, though.
Yeah.
So you're basically it's prostitution.
I mean, she's
paid
posting
to have
some
sex, but the people paying you aren't the people having sex with you.
Right.
They're watching you have sex, so it's not prostitution. It's porn.
Yeah.
Even though you're getting paid to have sex.
Right.
So you're kind of hoeing, but not officially.
Not you don't have
an unofficial hoe.
It's like a legal hoe.
Okay.
Because it's not legal to hoe, at least here, right?
Right.
You could hoe in other places.
There are places where it's legal.
Point being, the guy that spent thousands of dollars on her site ended up being her stepdad.
Did he know?
Yes, he knew.
And if you're the person who married him. And the stepdad is, that's the end of that marriage.
She kicked him to the curb. The mom
my God.
did, of course.
I'm surprised she didn't beat him.
Oh, I probably would have.
Right.
Because
that is creepy AF.
He's been in her life since she was 11.
Yeah, this guy needs to be looked into.
He needs,
right?
He needs therapy for sure.
Right. You can't, no.
Thousands of dollars to see your stepdaughter naked.
All right, so there you go.
So there's the happy hour.
There's
news.
somebody who needs. That's not happy. That's disturbing as hell. We got a psychotherapist here. We should probably dig into that.
That is not a case I'd be interested in.
No, I don't blame you. I do not blame you.
A lot of those people on those sites have issues. So, I mean, that's what took them there. In the first, both the customers and I think probably the people performing. I don't know. Anyway, you got questions for Danielle, 815-283-0095. Studio, the first word in your message, followed by your question. We'll check those coming up next on WIIL Rock. Anyway, if you're looking for a career instead of a job, if it's depressing you going to work every day, how about looking into becoming a union electrician? With the only registered electrical apprenticeship training center in Lake County, of course, I'm going to tell you about the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers. My dad was an IBEW man, and you can be too. IBEW Local 150, keeping the power on for Lake County can be you, and it's never too late. Even if you think, well, that ship has sailed. No, become a union electrician. With IBEW 150, become part of that team. Work anywhere in the country as a union electrician. You earn while you learn. With their 5-year, that was I made a vocal thing there, Leah. I made a. Oh, you don't have your headphones
Maybe
on.
it was you the whole time.
No, not the first one. Join IBEW Local 150 and keep the power on for Lake County. The place to start to find out about their registered apprenticeship program is IBEW150.org. That's IBEW150.org. Playing soothing music because Danielle is here. She's a licensed psychotherapist who believes in the use of psychedelics. That's part of her practice. And she is here with us today. I always play, you can ask the computer assistant, the A-word girl, you can ask her to play. When I give Yola her weekly massage or rub down, I say play massage music, and it plays massage music. Like that stuff you hear in the massage place. It really does relax you.
Yeah.
It soothes you, right? So this was supposed to be
use a
soothing.
massage.
Since we're doing psychotherapy today, we'll go to the text line for questions here. Let me see what we have. For Danielle, this is, I had an MDMA phase for a couple of years, and it just made me want to dance like there was no tomorrow with glow sticks.
Oh gosh.
That's the recreational use, because it is, what is it? It's
ecstasy.
This is ecstasy is what you're talking about.
Absolutely.
You're saying ecstasy is in the pipeline to become real and legal as a psychedelic used for therapy. Like you could go to your psychiatrist and they would prescribe this, and then they would do this, and then they would come see you and talk about the experience.
Absolutely.
That's what we're talking about.
That would be one.
Ecstasy. Yeah. Yeah.
But you would probably do it in office.
So there are those physicians currently that are prescribing ketamine capsules and sending you home, right, with appropriate dosing.
Yeah.
And then you having the experience that way. Absolutely. Ketamine can also be in clinic setting, and there's,
that's what's legal now.
Correct.
Yeah. But then this other stuff might be the same way. They say, go home, do this. They prescribe it, and then they come see you, and they talk about what happened. Yeah.
Like
dosage. First responders and veterans have been receiving now for years with absolute success. MDMA, ketamine.
They have been.
They have been. They are currently the focus, obviously, through what we've just been through, pandemic.
Somebody on the text line says, I have PTSD and anxiety from Iraq and Afghanistan. Could psychedelics help?
100%.
Yeah.
That's where it's like started from. That's where those were the original
people that were doing it.
Yeah.
So is the VA in on this? Is the VA?
The VA has run
down at Lovell.
They have run trials, and they are seeing some great success all over this country. First responders again, and veterans. So John and I will be attending at the end of June the first ever psychedelic conference. It's being held
Vegas
for a week in Denver. And
Denver, Colorado, mushrooms.
Yeah, so
recreational mushrooms are legal there.
They are. Yeah. It's going to be a stunning conference in that there will be over 800 workshops, lectures, everyone from law enforcement, politics, to chemists, to therapists. There is a great push to really, bring this to the masses, if you will, because it's helping people to truly heal. Since it's getting off pharmaceuticals.
Since it's in Colorado, and recreational shrooming is legal there. What do you say about like people who, now that weed is recreational here legal and shrooms are recreational legal there? What about people doing it on their own? Do you see a benefit to that?
I see a benefit as long
without you involved, without therapy, without they're just
yep.
out there doing it on their. I'm doing it. I'm recreationally doing. Say hypothetically, I'm recreationally doing marijuana last night.
As long as your recreational use is grounded in some understanding, some education about what you're taking, what experience you'll have. So 2 things that are key with any substance: set and setting. Set refers to your mindset, right? Thus the preparation. You don't just decide today I'm going to go do ayahuasca tomorrow and not have an appropriate mindset for what you're doing.
You don't, Danielle.
Right?
Hold on.
So,
Hold on. I have to cross something off my legal. Every day I have a pad of things
that's what we're doing tomorrow.
See, that's my list of things I'm supposed to do every day. And
ayahuasca.
I had ayahuasca on there for tomorrow.
The other is setting,
tomorrow.
right? So your mindset and setting. Literally, your setting refers to your environment. How is your environment prepared? Who are you going to be doing this with? And if you have set and setting properly planned, then you are in a really good place to have a great experience.
Have at it. If your mind is in the right place and you've prepared the room with the people and the things, have at it.
You get snacks?
Snacks are good.
Snacks is literally part of it?
Snacks are good.
Yeah. I like this lady. Yeah. She can come back.
I think honestly, Danielle,
snacks are good. Music is good. Candles are good. You definitely want to, add to your experience. And there's a lot of beautiful ways to do it.
Shrooms are not legal here. I was going to say, could I go shrooming on the air and you could help me through it? But we can't do that. It's not legal.
Not yet.
But why don't you come in next week and we'll see what happens. What?
And sadly, I can't join you because I have a sensitivity to mushrooms.
All right.
I literally, edibles, no psychedelics.
Get me some ketamine and we'll work it out. We'll do that next week then. Of course, she wouldn't do that. It's 9:38.
I want Danielle to come back after
We're going to have her back as a guest and
her conference
and help some people.
Yeah.
Right, because I think we've fixed me and Leah now. We're fixed.
But I would encourage everyone to look up.
John laughs when I say me and Leah are fixed. He laughs. Go ahead.
To look up, because you'll get a wealth of information and resources. Go online. Psychedelic Science 2023 is the conference.
Okay.
And you will be astounded at who's presenting, the names, what they're offering.
Bunch of people in Denver shrooming. All right. No, check out that conference. It's 8:39.
Sunny and 65.
We're going to play a song and then one more time to the text line questions for Danielle. Ask a licensed psychotherapist today. If you want to know more about her practice, it's LiveWellCounselingLLC.com. All of this is running on TomTube. If you have questions, last call for questions on the text line, 815-283-0095. Studio, the key word. we are talking to Danielle a lot off the air. So listeners
I
probably
got to send her a bill.
Listeners, you got to send her a bill?
Yeah.
No, she's got to send you a bill.
Oh, that's right.
You're not therapying her, Leah.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Well, I have to invoice
Danielle,
her.
that's going to be $500. You're talking to Leah this morning. She's glad she could help you.
I meant I'm going to have to send her an invoice for.
No, she would send you an invoice. That's just another word for bill, Leah. And then you would pay her.
Okay, how about
you have to send her a check?
How about I send her an empty invoice and she fills out how much that's what I meant.
Okay.
And then we submit it to your insurance.
Yeah, of course.
And they say $5 and you're good. Or we submit it to my insurance and they're like, no.
You're screwed.
It's not covered. Nothing's covered. Suck it up, buttercup. That's what I got. It's 9:44. Last call for questions for Danielle.
Does she have to go?
Licensed psychotherapist. She can come back and we can actually work on some listeners one time.
All right, one day.
815-283-0095. Studio. First word in your message, followed by your questions. 815-283-0095. Of course, if you really want to get into it, you want to get an appointment or find out what they do, livewellcounselingllc.com. It is 9:44.
Sunny and highs near 70 today now. It's saying getting down.
You're it.
I say it, me.
Leah's saying.
I'm it. 45 tonight and tomorrow, sunny and 65. It's 63 in Crystal Lake and 68 in Elgin.
Somebody pointed out what that thing popping up on your computer is that should be temperature, and now your computer decided it's going to give you the stock ticker, USDCAD. Is that it?
Yeah.
US dollar to the Canadian dollar exchange rate. It says it actually got up. That's weird that it would show on her weather ticker.
Well, it's not necessarily my weather ticker. It's just the corner of my computer that controls all the things. Sometimes
it has decided what you need to know.
Right. And it decided
today,
that.
It's the Canadian US dollar exchange rate.
Planning on making a trip. The weather.
Are shrooms legal in Canada? Is that what it's doing?
I don't know.
Does Canada have legal psychedelics?
That's a good question. I'm not up on Canada's psychedelics.
We need to go. Anyway, we'll do more questions for Danielle and more on the Canadian dollar coming up. This is a good time. This will put you in a good mood. It is the first 95 WIIL Rock Find Your Beach Cabin Fever Getaway Giveaway event with Corona of this 95 WIIL Rock 95 Days of Summer. Join me tomorrow night starting at 7. You want to get there early so you get a good table. And then we will be drawing a qualifier for a trip for 2 on the CFG. This is the best odds to qualify to win a trip on CFG 2024. I've got Corey Taylor tickets too. And Corona on special. Buckets of Corona on special. Going to be a beautiful evening. They're on the deck at Docks in Wakanda. We'll see you there tomorrow night with Corona and WIIL Rock. SinusandSnoringMD.com, SinusandSnoringMD.com. That is where you'll meet our buddy Dr. Swerdlin, and he will take care of those issues. Sinus and snoring issues, sinus issues, snoring, sleep apnea. You got problems with the allergies. Allergies are bad this year. Get it taken care of. Don't just suffer with it. Don't just go down to the local pharmacy or the grocery store and get that over-the-counter stuff, and it helps maybe a little, or maybe it doesn't help at all, so you try another one. And you got the allergies with the itchy, runny eyes and the runny nose. But what they do is a little allergy test. They can figure out what you're actually allergic to, and they treat that. That works better, and it helps you regain your quality of life. That's what they're doing at SinusandSnoringMD.com. Their mission statement, their goal is to help people redeem their quality of life. You want to get your quality of life regained. Redeem. Go to SinusandSnoringMD.com. You get an appointment right there. Find out you don't need a referral. Most insurance is accepted. And the place to start, SinusandSnoringMD.com. If you need counseling or therapy or wellness or whatever, go to LiveWellCounselingLLC.com. So you can meet Danielle and the team over there, and
so you have a partner,
get stuff taken care of.
do.
What is the practice? Who's there?
Well, the practice is myself and my business partner, just doing our little thing.
Are you guys taking new patients?
We are.
Because that's a question.
Absolutely.
Hard to find people for a lot of that stuff.
It's so difficult.
If you need an actual psychiatrist, good luck with that in America right now. So a lot of people having trouble with that. So, but call or go online and make an appointment, and Danielle will get you going in the right
both
direction.
My partner and I absolutely are beholden to helping people. So if we can't take you on, we will give you resources. We'll even give you a particular name.
You care about people.
We do.
If they don't have it at Macy's, you're the Santa Claus that'll send them over to Gimbel's to find what they need. It's very good.
That's awesome, because a lot of the times it's, and I know I struggled with this a couple of years ago. It's like, oh, sorry, can't help you.
You're out of luck.
You're out of luck.
You're on your own.
SOL.
You're on your own.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so very cool. What's in the cooler? You guys brought a cooler in today.
Yeah.
Are we having beers and I didn't know it, or what? I mean, what?
I would hope if we were.
We
that
brought
happened.
you some edible psychedelics.
Yeah.
That's not legal. You can't do that.
Reese's.
Right, Reese's, not Reese's.
Reese's. That's how I say it. I know it's whatever, not right, but Reese's. Reese's Pieces.
This is an issue.
Oh, okay.
Reese's is
did.
Reese's is my favorite. They
What
brought
the
beer.
hell, John? Why weren't we drinking
Why
those?
aren't we drinking beer? Because we gotta.
Oh, wait.
They brought beer.
He's got more.
They brought
he's got
Reese's.
more.
Why did she get the Reese's? She doesn't even know how to say
John
it.
and the bag of tricks.
Open you're supposed to share. I'll take mine now.
Yeah.
I love it's a 4-pack.
For Tim, I brought a Dr. Pepper too, and the ice cream that's in the freezer.
Ice
The
cream.
Dr. Pepper ice cream?
No.
No, but we're gonna.
Oh, we can make Dr. Pepper floats.
Oh, wow,
Oh,
that was
all right.
kind.
We can make Dr. Pepper floats. You guys are very good guests.
And then one last
I was hoping it
One
was a
last
cooler
thing.
full of shrooms.
We are
but
about making people happy.
It's
This is
nice.
from us and the kids.
What is it?
Oh,
It's a jar of moonshine. So what it is? It's apple pie moonshine. We had it. Daryl brought that to my party, and we had that same stuff. Spot on. It's like 8,000 proof.
well, I feel bad not trying some right now.
Well,
Like,
Leah's gonna have some shots
Yeah.
coming up. All right, and then more crying. We make Leah cry one more time.
If you
Danielle-
if you can do that, Leah, you could do some psychedelics, girl.
If
you
I
can
can
drink
do that,
the
I can
whole
do
jar
psych-
of moonshine.
well, I'm not gonna drink
Yeah.
the whole jar.
Anyway, Danielle just did this much, so you're supposed to have 4 fingers of it. Anyway, thank you for coming in today.
A pleasure.
We want to have you back when we can actually have some listeners call in and maybe
Apologies.
help them or
Yeah,
whatever.
that's
Leah
all right.
doesn't cry.
Is there anything that I prohibited you from getting?
No,
out?
you're not being complained at. I'm just
I
saying
know,
we can have
no,
listeners. Oh,
I'm just making sure that
is
she
there
got
anything else?
everything.
Any more info we need to get out there?
No, I just, I'm really thankful that you would have me here talking about this, because it is not where we're going, it's where we are.
Mhm.
And it is going to revolutionize mental health treatment.
Yes,
We're living in a country right now where there is a mental health
Big
crisis.
time.
absolutely.
And so I just would want everybody to really have an open mind and an open heart to what this has to offer. It's not for everyone, that's for sure. But there's a lot of healing to be done in this world, and psychedelics are a beautiful way to make that happen.
Or Reese's peanut butter cups. Thank you,
Yeah,
guys.
That was
Yeah.
delicious.
I love
pleasure.
you.
But now
Good
I want a
stuff.
beer.
Go ahead, wash it down. LiveWellCounselingLLC.com. Show notes for today.
Okay.
Donut Woman.
Oh, yeah.
Ass Elite.
Athlete.
Athlete.
He was an athlete from
athlete.
Czechoslovakia.
Yeah. So proud of her mispronunciations. And the arson song that we invented earlier this morning.
That was you. That was all you. That was spot on.
The arson song. That's your show notes for today. And of course, Danielle here from LiveWellCounselingLLC.com. We'll wrap things up. I'm eating another Reese's. Leah's going to have a 6-pack and some apple pie. We make her cry and wrap the show up. Coming up next. 95 WIIL Rock, the rock station. Not here. Not here. During the break, Leah's microphone literally fell off
Into my lap.
into her lap and off of her mount. And John fixed it. Getting that jar of apple pie open.
I don't need no man.
Thank you, Danielle, and her husband, John, for bringing in apple pie shots. Leah is now trying to open. You're going to drink it right out of the jar like you're at a hillbilly
like
hoedown?
I'm a damn hillbilly.
Hold on. Let the camera
should
guy
I
make.
have shaken it up?
Here's Leah does shots on the radio of apple pie shots, moonshine.
Oh, that's delicious.
It's tasty, and it's like
that is
it's like
so good.
It's like 80, 100 proof. It'll mess you up.
You guys made that?
Yeah.
Curtis and Haley.
Yeah.
Curtis and Haley. Thank you, Curtis and Haley.
And also it's loaded with psychedelics. So have a good trip. No, it's not.
I'll see you later, Danielle.
Danielle, thanks for coming in today. LiveWellCounselingLLC.com. She's
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, go see her in Libertyville. It is 9:58.
Sunny and 70 today.
We're going to go back tomorrow morning for the best day of the week on Phone Thursday and your chance to win the OPT jackpot. Bright and Surly, 5 until 10. Handsome John Bangin' Betty Perry coming in next. You have a good day. 95 WIIL Rock, the rock station.